Alright, let's try that again. Episode number 55 of the SCU Show. We're back, baby. Ready. Go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. Yes, we are finally back. I'm so glad to be back on the show. It's been so long. It's been almost more than 3 months now. It's been about 3.5 months since I've done a show. And I know I owe everybody an explanation of where I've been, what I've been doing, what's going on. So, sit back, relax for the next few minutes, and just listen to the story I have to tell you of why I haven't done a show in a little while. So, last show I did was in November, and it was around a time where I had quit my job to focus more on my writing. Like, I'm an author as well as a sportscaster, so it's like, I need more time to do my writing, because I was ready to be published already, and I'm working toward being published. Even now, I'm getting very close to being published. So I thought, okay, let's say I had something else set up. I don't know if I ever told the story, but I had something else set up. And as soon as I quit this one job, I go to the other job. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to start. Oh, this position's no longer available. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's no longer available? So basically, I have no job now. On the other hand, it's 3 weeks till Thanksgiving, so I'm just sitting here. I'm like, all right, it's 3 weeks. Let me hang out, go to Florida for Thanksgiving vacation. Come back, go back to Olive Garden, continue to do the show, wait till things go my way, This room's good. The room I'm supposed to be moving into, available January 4th, all was going to be alright. Well, lo and behold, they come back from Florida, and then the same night I return back to my friend's house where I'm staying. I'm shivering. It is so cold, I don't know why. I'm wrapped in 2 blankets, and I'm still freezing. So then the next day, everything seems normal, fine. I wake up. And then we go to our friend's house. Our friend Valeria lives in another town. And my legs are just so jelly. And I'm so weak. And I wound up falling asleep twice on her couch. And everyone's worried about me. Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's cool. Well, turns out I wasn't okay. I had COVID-19. That's right. I got sick from Florida. It was pretty bad. I wound up in a hotel for an entire month because the place I was staying at, they had 4 elderly people. One who had already had COVID and spent 4 months in a hospital, so I knew. I was discussing with my friend's dad and everything. We had talked, and he was like, you need to go somewhere else. You can't be here. All right, fine. So it was, I don't want to say it was bad. Like, I know a lot of people have died from it, and a lot of people are being hospitalized for it. But on my end, the worst thing that happened to me was I couldn't taste. And I know a lot of people that have COVID. Yeah, you know what it's like not to taste. I remember the second day I had it, I went to get McDonald's to eat McDonald's. I couldn't taste my burger. I was so upset I threw half of the burger away. That's how bad it was. At least the second day. Then eventually you get used to not being able to taste. You're like, hey, whatever. I didn't eat. I think that's the thing. When you have COVID and you can't taste, what's the point of eating? I lost 10 pounds from having COVID for 4 weeks. I lost 10 pounds. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It was a very serious thing. I could have died. But thank the Lord Almighty, I'm okay now. I tested negative on Christmas Eve, and all is right with the world now. Unfortunately, that also meant I had to... My friend's dad was like, you have to go somewhere else now. You can't be here anymore. They'd helped me enough, which I appreciate. I always will, always have, whatever. And so here I am. I'm back in Virginia for... I'm hoping for at least the time being. I'll just leave it at that for the time being. The room, I'm pretty sure, is not going to be available anymore, so I have to keep looking for another room. But for the time being, I will be in Virginia. Well, I'll just leave it at that. So there you have it. I had COVID-19. I was out in a hotel for a month. I didn't have anything with me until like the last week or so. I had everything with my luggage and everything. I didn't have my tripod, so I couldn't do a show. I didn't have the headset, and couldn't do a show. So, it is what it is now. I'm, like I said, very glad to be back. Episode number 55 of the SCU Show. And now, let's get to sports. And let's start with Super Bowl 55, which is the recording of this video was last night. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and watched the game. It was a very exciting game to start. The Bucs had... if you watch the game, you know about the goal line stand with the Chiefs had, and I was just like, wow, how did they do that? Of course, I had picked Tampa to win the game, if you saw on Facebook. I had picked Tampa to win the game, and I'm glad they won, but I didn't expect it to be so dominant in that game. But here's one thing that I really took away from this game. I always saw this early on in the game. Oh my God, the referees are ruining everything. God, how dare they? First of all, I hear that in every NFL game. Now, there was one call. There was one call on Rashad Breeland. It was a play where they say he interfered with Mike Evans, who fell. But Breeland didn't contact him at all. That was the only flag I was like, okay, that's not good. Every other flag, every other thing else with the whole ref thing, it's all crap. That's all it is crap. You know why it's crap? Because Tom Brady threw 2 touchdowns to Gronkowski. I believe it was the first half, not the first quarter. He threw 3 touchdowns overall. He completed 21 of 29 of his passes. The defense is the problem. They couldn't stop Tom Brady. They couldn't stop Gronkowski. Even Antonio Brown scored a touchdown. Credit to Antonio Brown. Congratulations to him winning a Super Bowl. It's really awesome to see. And meanwhile, you had the Chiefs, who obviously were missing their offensive line. Eric Fisher was out. That was a big loss for Kansas City. They had moved their, I think it was a right tackle to right guard, right tackle. And they had a new guy starting at right guard. Many issues on the O-line. And you saw that Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. The stat is he ran in this game a total of 497 yards. I'm not kidding. That is how much yards he ran just running away from Bucks defenders. 490. I'm not making this up. 497 yards of rushing, just running backwards and all this other stuff. And still, of course, if you watched that game, you saw those 2 amazing throws he made, both dropped by their receivers. Well, one was out of bounds, and then the last one was dropped. It was an off night for Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be okay. The Chiefs are going to be absolutely fine. But really, and I said this when I picked the Bucks to win the game, you can't doubt Tom Brady. You can't doubt Tom Brady. And that's why I picked the Bucks to win. That's why Brady's the greatest of all time. And now, he has 7 Super Bowl titles under his belt. More than any team. Forget player. More than any team in NFL history. Congratulations to Tom Brady. Congratulations to the Bucks. And Chiefs fans, I'm sorry, but the Chiefs will be back. But let's stop blaming the refs again. Patrick Mahomes, 9 of 19 in the first half. Tyreek Hill had 2 catches first half. Yeah, but it was all the refs' fault, of course. Everything's the refs' fault. Come on. Let's be real. The Chiefs got shut down by the Tampa defense. By the way, that another thing that tells you, defense wins championships. Tampa Bay has had such a great defense. They have 4 takeaways against the Saints in the divisional round. They had 5 sacks on Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game. And look what they did to Patrick Mahomes. They shut him down, shut the Chiefs down, shut Tyreek Hill down. That's all the Bucs defense. Of course, Brady threw 3 touchdowns like I mentioned. But Bucs defense won a championship. And that's that. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for winning Super Bowl 55. All right, now here's something really interesting. I thought this was really interesting. Matt Stafford has been traded to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff. You trade a first-round pick for a first-round pick. It's insanity, right? Crazy. And then the question is, who won the trade? Everybody has their, answers of why Goff was the better thing, why trading Goff was better, or why trading for Stafford was better, whatever the case is. I think the answer is clear. The Rams won this trade. There is no question. Look, I have the stats here from just the season that just ended for each quarterback, and Matt Stafford is obviously the better quarterback over Jared. I said this. I know I trashed Matt Stafford on the show before. I know 10, 11 seasons in Detroit, no playoff wins wasn't good enough, but he's still a better quarterback than Jared Goff. Jared Goff went first overall after throwing 6 touchdowns against Air Force in a bowl game. I still don't understand that. I don't think I ever will understand that. But here are the stats that tell me that Matt Stafford is a better quarterback, and will continue to be a better quarterback, by the way, than Jared Goff. Matt Stafford last year had Marvin Jones and Danny Amendola as his top 2 receivers. He didn't have much Kenny Golladay, and that really killed me in fantasy, by the way. But I still have my best fantasy season ever. But anywho, Matt Stafford with Marvin Jones and Danny Amendola, 4,204 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 picks. Yeah, that's going against the Packers defense, who were just below the margin of the Bucks defense. Like, the Packers defense is really good. They're not the Bucks defense, but that's a damn good defense in Green Bay. And you have Chicago's defense that has Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson and a bunch of other talented guys. 26 touchdowns, 10 picks with 2 B receivers. Okay, Marvin Jones is at A. Don't even know more of like a C, so it's like a B core. Leave it at that. Meanwhile, Jared Goff has the All-Stars, Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, and Robert Woods. Real top receivers. Those are A-minus guys, right? 30,952 yards, 20 touchdowns, 13 picks. Ooh. Yeah, that tells me a lot about, these quarterbacks. One does more with nothing than the other does with a whole lot of something. And so that's one reason the Lions won this trade, or the Rams won this trade, excuse me. The other one, you see who has which head coach now? Did you see that? Matt Stafford got Sean McVay now. McVay took the Rams to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Remember that? Yeah, remember the Rams were Super Bowl 2 years ago with Sean McVay. Yeah, Jared Goff's going with Dan Campbell, who was a tight ends coach, I believe, with the Saints before. And in his introductory press conference was talking about biting knees off. Yeah. Good luck to Jared Goff in Detroit. It's going to be absolute garbage. And I won't be watching. It's going to be bad. It really is. Like, I looked at the schedule. You go ahead and look at the schedule. Look it up. This is an 0-16 team right now. I don't care that they got, I don't care that Jared Goff is a C quarterback. And not only that, I forgot to mention this. Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay are set to become free agents. And if the Lions don't sign them, it's going to be worse. They're absolutely going to go 16. Hell, they might get a -1 at 17. Who knows? I'm just kidding. You get the point. It's going to be really bad in Detroit. And I feel sort of bad for Jared Goff. He's excited. Good for him. Whatever. He can be excited. It's cool. But it's not going to be working out. Just saying. Here's another quarterback who really screwed himself. And I'm not saying Jared Goff or Matt Stafford screwed themselves, but Deshaun Watson really screwed himself. And I said this on the show last year. Deshaun Watson was foolish to sign that 4 or 5 year extension with the Houston Texans from the get-go. There was no reason for him to be signing an extension like that. There was no reason for him to be doing that. I'm not sure if he did it before or after they traded away DeAndre Hopkins, but obviously, look at it now. It was the worst mistake of his life, pretty much. Not only that, well, he can. There's like a no trade clause, but he can ask to be traded or whatever. As of right now, Houston is not letting him go. Yeah. It is a dumpster fire, Houston. The whole thing where he was supposed to be part of the head coaching search, and turns out they did it without him. They didn't interview Eric Bieniemy. They fired somebody. They just fired a coach who was close to Deshaun Watson. Now it's upsetting other players. This is getting out of control in Houston. Houston, you have a problem, right? I should have said that before. Houston, we have a problem, obviously. And now Deshaun Watson, unfortunately for him, his contract has a no-trade clause. So pretty much what it comes down to is that he has dug his own grave. Now he must lay in it. He has to lay in it. He did this to himself. When you get yourself into a situation, sometimes you can't get yourself out. And sometimes everybody knows it's foolish, like me. I'm sure many other people agree with me. It was foolish for Deshaun Watson to sign that deal. When I talked about it last time, Deshaun Watson had the biggest odds. He's the favorite to land as the New England Patriots quarterback for this upcoming season in September. No, but Bill Belichick, crap. Obviously, Brady was the system. Bill Belichick is a defensive coach, and he is going to get all these players. The McCourty brothers, I think, what was his name? Dante Hightower is going to come back. He opted out. There was 8 Patriots players that had opted out of the season due to the COVID concerns, all that good stuff. They're all coming back under a defensive coach. The Patriots are going to be absolutely fine, and they could have had Deshaun Watson. They could have had him. Unfortunately, Deshaun Watson decided, I want to stay in Houston. Big mistake, buddy. Big mistake. And I think everybody's in agreement with that. But unfortunately, Deshaun Watson dug his own grave. Now he has to lay in it. The AFC South is just becoming a dumpster fire. I understand Jacksonville did sign Urban Meyer. That's cool. I like that. I like that signing, Urban Meyer. It's nice. It's cool. They're going to get Trevor Lawrence. Awesome. I don't know about bearing any setbacks with his shoulder surgery. We'll just knock on wood right here. But yeah, Tennessee. Okay, you get the point. The Texans are becoming a dumpster fire. Let's leave it at that. All right, oh my God, this is the best thing I have heard ever in sports history, and I've been doing this. It'll be 7 years in September. I've been doing sports stuff. I started a newspaper and everything, and then I got into the radio, and I was editor-in-chief of a blog. I'll tell you about it one day. But today I must tell you about something, a report, and I wish I remember the girl's name. I looked it up on Twitter. I could not find it. Well, Adam Schefter reported this. The Eagles are going to trade Carson Wentz in the coming days. By the time this podcast comes out tomorrow, on a Tuesday, he could be gone already. Who knows? But according to a report, from what I saw this on Twitter. I don't remember her name, but it was a reporter. The team that is looking to obtain Carson Wentz from the Eagles, the Chicago Bears. Now, I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but here's the good part. The Bears are offering Nick Foles. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love hearing this. This is the funniest thing ever. Because if you've watched this show and you know who I am, you know what a big fan I am of Nick Foles. And let's just for the hell of it, let's go over this again. 2013, Nick Foles throws 27 touchdowns, 2 picks, leads the Eagles to the playoffs, to lose to the Saints in the wildcard game. 2014, the Eagles are 6-2. They're in Houston. Nick Foles is the starting quarterback still. He breaks his collarbone. He's out for the season. Mark Sanchez takes over. They go 8-8 and miss the playoffs. 2017, Carson Wentz gets hurt. MVP season, oh my goodness. Nick Foles takes over, leads the Eagles to the Super Bowl, defeating Tom Brady. And he's MVP of the Super Bowl as well. The next season, Carson Wentz starts season 5-6. The rest of the way, Nick Foles takes over after another Carson Wentz injury. He's 6-1. He takes the Eagles to the divisional round, and they are a Alshon Jeffrey Butterfingers catch from another NFC championship game. And all of a sudden, the Eagles are dumb enough to get rid of Nick Foles, trade him to the Jaguars. He plays 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. He got injured week 1 after signing a 4-year, $88 million deal. He got hurt. And that was pretty much the end of that. He had 1 bad game against, I believe, the Jets, and they got rid of him. They traded him to Chicago. Now, I'll give Mitch Trubisky credit for what he took over after Foles was struggling. But at the beginning of the year, it was Trubisky who was struggling. Nick Foles took over, and the Bears got better. And now it's circled back around. Once again, Nick Foles is, I'm not saying it's official, but Nick Foles is most likely headed back to Philadelphia. It's beautiful. I love it. And we're going to see a lot of interesting quarterback competitions this year, but none of them maybe were more interesting than Nick Foles against Jalen Hurts. And I might be the only one that will say that, but damn it, I cannot wait to see how that competition goes down in camp this summer. That is going to be fun. Oh my goodness. You have no idea how awesome that's going to be. It's going to be great. And with that, we're done. Yeah, we had a very good show as we talked about the Super Bowl. Congratulations again to the Bucs. Everyone talking about the refs gave down Brady another Super Bowl victory. Oh my goodness. Patrick Mahomes was 9 of 19 in the first half. Tyreek Hill had 2 catches. Let's blame the refs. Why don't we? And defense was championships. Obviously, the Chiefs defense could not stop Tom Brady or Gronkowski. He had 3 touchdowns. Gronk had 2 of them in the first half, I believe. And Tampa rolled 31-9. 22-point victory. The 5th largest for an underdog in Super Bowl history. The Rams won the trade with Matthew Stafford-Jared Goff. Jared Goff's going to a dumpster fire in Detroit. They can go 0-16. We'll look at their schedule. This is when the schedule comes out and all that stuff. We'll look more at it after the draft and everything. But right now, the Lions, that's an 0-16 team, and they're going to be the first team to go 0-16 twice. It's really bad. Meanwhile, Matt Stafford's getting Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks. Cam Akers is a very talented rookie. He had, I don't know if he set any rookie records. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm not sure what. But that's a hell of a running back. I liked him coming out of Florida State. I like him now. He's just talented. He's a talented running back. You can't doubt that. And he gets Sean McVay, one of the better coaches, in the NFC. And Deshaun Watson, you dug your own grave. I'm sorry, friend. You must now lay in it because the Texans have all the leverage. You have none of it. And it sucks. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, especially in the NFL, which everybody knows is a business. And, my goodness, Carson Wentz traded to the Bears for Nick Foles. And, by the way, Tariq Cohen, the running back, and a first-round pick. Do I think Carson Wentz is worth a first-round pick? Absolutely not. Is he going? But, I mean, he was second overall, so I guess that does mean something. Plus, MVP year. Let's bring that up. MVP year. Blah, 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 blah. So, whatever. Good luck to Carson Wentz moving forward. I like to see him succeed. I'm not anti-Carson Wentz, but he has not shown me thus far that he is a successful NFL quarterback. I have not seen it. Maybe we'll see it when he goes to Chicago or elsewhere. All right, we're done. We're going to get out of here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been episode number 55 of the SCU Show.